No, I was just making.
I was going to agree with the law director that this is a legal move.
Let him speak.
Thank you.
Are you sure, John?
This is a legal move, but the intent of this move is simply to put in a candidate from a certain faction on this commission. And I think the process here speaks for itself. It stinks to high heaven. No disrespect to Mr. Bolus, who I do not know. But this is obviously a move that is, at the very least, duplicitous and underhanded, and it is disrespectful to Commissioner Guda. It is disrespectful to myself, and it is an insult to the people of the 4th District should this vote turn out the way I think it is. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Guda, I don't know if we're really supposed
Thank
to...
you, Mr. Chairman. I have been disrespected before, and I'm sure this won't be the last time. I'll get past it, but I want you to notice that we've saved the last until now. I didn't say we saved the best till last. I said we saved the last till now. But I do want to ask the law director a question. With an addition to the commission, since the makeup of commission has changed, there may be some that would question whether or not we have to start over from the beginning and take nominations from the floor. I would like to have you respond to that, to those that might think that way. Starting all over, in other words.
For this vote, I think you make a good point. I think you make a real good point. This commissioner has not been involved in the vote, has just been sworn, and so with that said, I would agree with Commissioner Guda that we ought to start over in the 4th District with the nomination process.
Okay.
I don't think you need a motion for that effect, Mr. Chairman. You've heard a ruling from the law department that we should start from the beginning again.
I think this body respects the opinion of the law director, and we respect the law. So, Commissioner Lambert?
I just have a question for the law director. Would it, for any of the other folks who have already been appointed, they have the option of going ahead and being sworn in too, don't they?
They have always had that option,
Well,
yes, sir.
In the interest of fairness, I so move that we take a recess for 10 minutes, and any of the newly appointees who choose to go ahead and take their oath, we allow them to take their oath and take their seat. That would only be fair, don't you think?
I think if anyone wants to take their seat, have that option.
I'll make a motion then that we recess until these officers be sworn in, and then we reconvene.
Question. Do we have a second?
They have to request to be sworn in.
Question. They were not asked to stay. What if you can't reach some of these?
Those that are here, let them get sworn in.
That wouldn't be...
If they want to.
If they want.
I think Mr. Cate was asked early on, and he didn't want to get sworn in. I don't know if anybody else wants to get sworn in. Commissioner Jordan, I don't think she said Commissioner Josh Jordan wants to be sworn in. If we want to start over, we need to finish the process because we've got a 2 o'clock swearing in. We've got to get this government back to going. And so
That's it.
I think, well, that's your opinion, Mr. Harmon.
I'm not sure that you've answered my question. Do we at least need to make a phone call to the ones that maybe are not present that would want to be sworn in?
Mr. Law Director, you want to?
That's up to this body.
We've got a swearing in set for 2 o'clock, and I think most people understand that. But they've always had the option, and we realized that someone could take an oath of office, and I think Mr. Bolus did so because the 2nd District wasn't being represented all the way. That was the only member missing on this body. We had a 19-member body. It went down to 18. So I don't know if we want to just recess to do the whole thing because the 2nd District wasn't represented.
Mr. Chairman, if I made a motion to have a recess to allow people to be sworn in, I'll withdraw that motion. I'm ready to go on and vote.
Let's go.
But I would also say if there are those here that have been appointed that would like to be sworn in, that they stand up now and be recognized and get sworn in.
Is anybody here that's been appointed to county commission wish to take their seat right now at this point in time?
Mr. Chairman, may I take a point of personal privilege to your statement that the 2nd District was not being represented I was here.
No, sir.
the votes.
I'm saying it's not presented with two members.
All right.
I mean,
very
you
good.
got one member. Everybody else has got two members voting. So I don't think
That's
you can-
fine. Your clarification is just all that I needed, because I'm representing the second district and a lot of people out there who dislike this process very much.
You're representing the second district, but you're representing it without your
Chairman.
counterpart.
Mr. Chairman, did not the law director say when we first started this process that anybody that chose to go out in the hallway out there and get sworn in would have the right to come in and take this seat immediately?
That is correct.
Apparently, Mr. Bolus is the only one that wanted to do that. The others aren't here, apparently, or they didn't follow through with that. So I see nothing wrong with Mr. Bolus sitting in this seat because he took the direction from the law director, and everybody had that chance.
Now, I say we start just over.
We've got rules, we have to follow them. We may not like them, but it's like the law. These things we have to do, and we have to bite the bullet sometime. Now, you can say it stinks or does what, but everybody else had the same opportunity as Mr. Bolus.
Okay, I think we need to get back to the nomination process, and so we'll start over in the 4th District and take nominations all over again. So let's start in the 1st District.
Mr. Jordan. Pass. Commissioner Strickland.
Pass.
Pass. Commissioner Harmon.
Elaine Davis.
Mr. Harmon is Elaine Davis. Commissioner Bolus.
Pass.
Mr. Norman.
I'd like to nominate William Daniels.
Commissioner Norman Daniels. Commissioner Harmon.
We going for A or B, C, or both?
No.
Already got one filled.
Want to make sure.
Moving too fast.
Lee Trammell.
Mr. Harmon Trammell. Mr. Guda. Jim Smeltzer. Smeltzer. Mr. Smith. Pass. Commissioner Hammond.
Scott Davis.
Scott Davis. Mr. Lutho. Pass. Mr. Grease.
Pass.
Pass. Haywood. Pass. Commissioner Lambert. Pass. Commissioner Smith. Pass. Commissioner Moore.
Pass.
Pass. Commissioner Ballard.
Pass.
Pass. Commissioner Mills. Pass. Mr. Clark. Pass. Mr. Pinkston. Pass. Does the floor wish to nominate?
Is there any votes from the citizens in the audience?
Hey, Scott Davis, 1515 Ashland Springs Way, Knoxville, 37922. I respect this body more so than I ever did before. I served on this body, and it disturbs me greatly to see what is happening here. And out of respect to this body, out of respect to Knox County, out of respect to the office holders, I've had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Trammell, who's a good friend of mine. I've had an opportunity to speak to Mr. Ragsdale, who's a good friend of mine. I have a lot of friends up here on commission. I've served with many of you all. I've had the pleasure of being your friend. And out of respect for the commission, out of respect for what's happening here, I would withdraw my name, and I apologize for the county having to endure such a travesty in my mind. I hope and pray that we as a body can come together. We've had bickering in Knox County for the past 25 years, which is desperately unfortunate. We have an opportunity right now to change that and to move forward in a positive way. And I hope and pray each of you takes this upon yourselves to help us move Knoxville forward in a positive direction and stop the fighting and bickering and the backroom deals that we've seen for years and years and years. And I pray that each of you takes that to heart and moves forward. Okay, we have a beautiful place here. It's a great place to live. And I hate to see our government put into turmoil. And out of respect for that, out of respect for this body, I respectfully withdraw my name. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Okay, we have Elaine Davis and Mr. Daniels, Mr. Trammell, Mr. Smelser, and Mr. Davis has withdrawn. So we have 4 candidates starting the 9th District. Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Pinkston.
Trammell, Commissioner Clark. Trammell, Commissioner Mills. Trammell, Commissioner Ballard. Trammell, Commissioner Moore.
Trammell.
Trammell, Commissioner Smith.